Yo, what's up? Uh, yeah, so as Lisa said, it's my first comedy show. Last semester I was wrapped up in various a cappella business ventures. But really, I'm no stranger to the stage. I've been performing since I was in middle school because there was like a music program in my middle school. And it happens that most kids were divided into one of three groups: band, orchestra, and choir. And each one of those had their own little culture. Band was like the military. In that you get like some assurance of your future that doesn't really pan out. It's understood that if you're in the band in middle school, once you get to high school, you get to play the stands at the football games. And that always struck me though as like a purely lateral career move. You play Cake by the Ocean at half times. Maybe school assembly. I didn't end up joining the band. The choir was idealistic. You take some 50 kids going through puberty on stage. You have them on an African spiritual. Africa by Toto. It's an interesting thing where if you're a cis male in the choir, when you start out, you'll probably be singing alto. And over the years, as your voice develops, you start to see your voice teacher looking at you, like wanting so badly to preserve that youthful tone. And you would just learn in history class how the Catholic Church maintained its soprano section. So it made every day I didn't end up joining the choir either. No, I joined the orchestra. And yeah, right. String instruments. I think the biases around string instruments are pretty funny. I don't know if you know this, but 12-year-olds with violins were pretty hot shit in my hometown. And the parents would always gossip about, oh, who's the next young hopeful in the Chicago Youth Orchestra, while we all tried to get high off of the bow dust. And a lot of other Asian kids ended up in that orchestra. I wanted to set myself apart from them, so I picked the one instrument that no other Asian would touch: the viola. Yeah, right? Violas, we can call them like the gentrified violin. They cost a bit more, do a bit less, and they're about the maximum amount of weight in wood that a child can fit between their collarbone and chin. So we're flexing to keep these up every day for an hour. And we were a small bunch though in the viola section. We all understood that we weren't really going anywhere with this, you know? I mean, it was either this, castration, or Cake by the Ocean. In order of how bad that would be. But we would get sat next to the violin section, not the first violins. Those were actually like over further from us, isolated. You know, we were quarantined in that sense. And the second violins are right next to us. Second violin in middle school is interesting because middle school teachers make absolutely no pretense about the fact that if you're in the second violins, you are worse at violin than everybody in the first violin. And the kids knew that too, which was wild. It was like Black Swan for them every day. I would sit down at the back of the viola section, turn to Bobby Davidson to my right, and go like, you know, how's your day going? And he would just be looking ahead at Mrs. K with this dead look in his eyes, just twisting the tuning peg on his violin. And Mrs. K was a really nice lady. She wore huge Coke bottle glasses, floral print button-downs every day. She took over our orchestra after Mr. G left to pursue acting. Mr. H left to pursue screenwriting and acting. And then, before both of them, Mr. O left when he got married. When his marriage fell through, he went into acting. And Mrs. K, she acted, you know, with the as if she had the job security that only a previous turnover rate of white drama majors could provide. And if you messed up, she would compare you to one of her children. So I would get a note wrong, and she would tell me, you know, Micah, Jeremy wouldn't be getting this wrong. Jeremy was 37 and an architect. You know, we asked about her children sometime. Petunia, her second favorite, she specified second favorite. She had gone to the ministry, and Kevin had become a high school teacher. Tyler went into acting. She never compared us to Tyler. But I stayed in that orchestra for full 3 years, and when I got into high school, I went into acting. Thank you, that's my time.